Hello and welcome to the module on presenting persuasively.
Once you've got your story and your visuals, you are halfway to communicating your data-driven argument. But it's in the presentations and the reports that you create that it all truly comes together. In this video, I will explain 3 important principles that will help you when presenting data.
The 3 principles we'll talk about today are less is more, put your audience first, and avoid default options.
I'll also show you some tweaks that you can implement straight away that will have a major impact on your presentation. My name is Mihaela Gruia. I am the founder and director of Research Retold.
We are a research communication company and we work with researchers across the public sector and universities
to help them communicate their findings in accessible and visual ways.
Before we go into the 3 principles, it's important to note one golden rule for designing presentations. Your slides exist to support your spoken delivery, not replace you as the speaker. A presentation is first and foremost about connecting with your audience. The first principle is less is more. As you put together your presentation, create a basic outline. A rule of 3 is your best friend to get you unstuck. It will also be good to include this in your presentation so people know what to expect from you. The first slide sets the tone of what you are conveying. You want it to be inviting. Use an image or a visual that communicates what you're presenting and only keep the relevant information. As you can see in the slides, the date and location are removed. A relevant photo is added. The sample size of the study is communicated with a visual and not a bland table. The same applies to a report or written publication. Choose images that engage your audience and reinforce what you are saying. Here are some libraries you can use, unsplash.com and pexels.com, but do check whether your organization has a repository of approved images. Keep the text to a minimum. Insert keywords and concepts that emphasize your points. Too many words will split your audience's attention between what is on the slide and what you are saying. In this example, the presenter uses an image of a fish crammed in a bowl to communicate the tight space in which the interviews will take place and does away with the bullet points altogether. We covered the first principle, less is more. Now let's see how you can put your audience first. When designing your presentation, think about your audience and what they know or don't know. Use this reflection as a filter for what to include or leave out. Ask yourself, do they need to know this in order to understand my argument? If the answer is no, consider leaving out. When using graphs, help your audience grasp the key message by making the key message the title of the graph rather than using a standard descriptive title. Instead of having children attending an event, it would be better to say, School A had more children attending both events. Even better, School A had more children attending both events, therefore it requires more supplies. Really making that effort to show the reader what the key message is and directing their attention to what is important. Now, look at these 2 images and tell me, which do you prefer? If you chose B, there is a reason for that. It relates to the power of the eye's gaze. Humans tend to follow the direction of the photo. To keep your audience engaged with your slides, ensure that your images and the text go in the same direction. It's the same with the direction of the microphone and in this example with the direction of the child's gaze. Make transitions to new points clear. Use visual cues like background image and font colors to signal to your audience that you're moving to a new section of your presentation. You've just learned how to put your audience first. Now we're going to look at the final principle, avoid default options. It's easy to change the font's backgrounds and to add some style or flair to show you've been intentional about your presentation. A simple tweak like this, without using Calibri, makes such a difference. Be aware of font choice and size for readability. Typography experts say that serif fonts work best for print and sans serif work well for online materials. If you're wondering what serif means, it relates to the little feet at the bottom of the letters. So serif has feet and sans serif doesn't have any feet, which is best for online. If you're looking for a font that works best for print and online, I would recommend Georgia. In addition, be consistent in your design choices. Keep the look and feel of the slides consistent by using a color scheme, the same fonts, and repeated images if that helps connect some of your points. For example, you can use similar images consistently to create a, quote, brand for your project. On this note, if you use an image per slide, make sure it covers the entire slide. Use color sparingly as a way to emphasize key points, like I'm showing you here when you are using it in graphs, or it connects to the title and the legend of the graph. Having just talked about color, accessibility is important, so think of how your slides appear to a colorblind person. Here are some tools you can use to do this. It's also worth reading some guidelines for accessibility, which you can easily find by searching for accessible design guidelines online. If you do want to use color, make it intentional. Consider creating a simple set of icons to communicate variables in your data. This will make it easier for your audience to follow your argument. And here I'm going to show you a simple, quick way to make these icons using shapes already existing in PowerPoint and font. In conclusion, applying the tips you've learned in this video will increase the impact of your presentation and help you communicate your argument and data effectively.
In the next unit, you will start creating your own presentation. When doing so, do remember the 3 principles that we covered in this lesson. Less is more, put your audience first, and avoid default options. Thanks for watching.